Question is, you are given a graph, means the graph of three object, graph of B which is starting from origin, graph of C which is start from 2 kilometer, graph of A which is start from 7 kilometer. You need to find which of the three is traveling the fastest. For answering this question, we have to see the slope of the graph, all three graphs. You see the graph B has highest slope because the angle of this graph with x-axis is highest. You can compare all the three. B has highest slope, that is why B travel fastest. Second point, are all the three ever at the same point on the road? It means we have to find whether all the three graphs intersect at a point, at a single point. I think the answer is no. C part, how far C traveled when B passes to A? B passes to A at which point? Just see the graph of B, just see the graph of A, they both intersect at a point D. We have to find how far this means C graph of C is this. How far C traveled when B passes to A? So B passes to A, D at this time. The graph C passes covered at a 7 kilometer distance. Now the point D, how far B traveled by the time it passes to C. B and C, intersection of B and C we have to find. This is B and this is C, so they intersect at F. And at this time, when they intersect, when the graph B intersect with C, they traveled 4.5 kilometer. Number 7, a ball is gently dropped from a height of 20 meter if its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meter per second square. With what velocity will it strike the ground? Just see the situation with the help of a figure. There is a ball which is at a height of 20 meter from the earth's surface. If a person gently drop it, then its initial velocity will be 0. When it moves in downward direction due to gravity, it will accelerate, and this acceleration is given to you. Constant acceleration of 10 meter per second square is applied towards the earth. And in this situation, we need to calculate what is its final velocity when it strikes the earth's surface. Means height is given, which is also considered as a distance as 20 meter. Acceleration, which is positive because the ball is moving towards the earth, because the speed goes on increasing. That is why A is equal to plus 10 meter per second square. Final velocity we need to calculate. In second part, we have to also calculate the time taken between the initial and final position. As the ball is gently dropped, so its initial velocity u is 0. By third equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So v square minus u is 0, so it will be u 0 square is equal to 2 into acceleration is plus 10 and s is 20. So v square is equal to 400. It implies v is equal to square root of 400, which is equal to 20 meter per second. In the second part, for calculating time, we need to apply first equation of motion. Instead of v, I am writing 20. U is 0, so u into t is 0, plus a is 10, t remain t only. It means 20 is equal to 10t. It implies t is equal to 20 by 10, which will be equal to 2 seconds. And the solution of question number 8. You are given speed versus time graph. Speed is given in meter per second, time is given in second. You need to calculate how far does the car travel in the first 4 seconds. Said the region also between first 4 seconds. Now distance covered by the car in first 4 seconds can be calculated by the area of this shaded region. In this shaded region there are 63 small square, approximately 63 small square you can count. More than half you can consider as a full, and less than half you will neglect. In this way, in my graph there are total 63 square. So total area, total shaded region is equal to 63 multiplied by area of each small square. For calculating the area of each small square, or we can say rectangle, we need length of each small square and breadth of each small square. For length, which is along the x-axis, it is 0 to 2. Between 0 to 2, how many small squares are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 by 5 second is the length of this small square. Similarly, breadth can be found 0 to 2, how many small squares are there? 3, so 2 divided by 3 meter per second. Just place the value of L and B for getting the area of each square, which is 2 by 5 into 2 by 3. The area of each small square become 4 by 15, and this 4 by 15 has to be multiplied by 63. It will give you the area of shaded region, which is equal to 16.8 meter. In the second part, which part of the graph represents the uniform motion? You can see uniform motion is shown between the C to D part, because in between C to D there is a straight line, and this part C to D lie between 6 seconds to 10 seconds. 9. State which of the following situations are possible and give an example for each of these. First, a body with a constant acceleration but with zero velocity. Yes, this situation is possible. Example, when a body is just released, its initial velocity u is 0, but acceleration a, which is equal to acceleration due to gravity, is constant, which is 9.8 meter per second square, or approximately 10 meter per second. Just see the situation when we release a body from a certain height. In that case, initial velocity is 0, but it has a constant acceleration in the downward direction, and it is equal to acceleration due to gravity, approximately 10 meter per second square. Second situation, an object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration in the perpendicular direction. Yes, it is possible in case of a circular motion. When a body moves in a circle, then it has a centripetal acceleration due to the centripetal force. A centripetal acceleration is applied towards its radius, whereas the direction of velocity is along the tangent, and that is why it is a perpendicular to each other. In some of the book, one more question is asked, that is it possible that a body have an acceleration with constant speed? Yes, again this is possible in case of the circular motion. In this case, when the body moves in a circle, then it has a constant speed, but it has certain acceleration towards the center. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42,250 km. Calculate its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the Earth. You can see the situation. The Earth satellite moving around it in a circular orbit. The distance of center of Earth to the satellite is given to you. It is 42,250 km. So this distance will be considered as the radius of the circle. Now in theory we have discussed that speed in a uniform circular motion can be calculated by distance in one round upon time taken. Distance in one round is equal to its circumference, so it is 2 pi r upon time taken in one round we can consider as t. Now you can place the value of pi as 22 by 7, radius 42,250 in kilometer, and time I am placing in hour only, which is 24. After calculating, we will get the answer 11,065.47 approximately kilometer per hour. But we can convert the answer into meter per second. Just multiply this speed in kilometer per hour by 5 by 18, and you will get the result 3073.74 something meter per second approximately. So this is the approximate speed of the satellite which revolves around the Earth.